What does this sign mean? Turn off at the next available junction. Give way to oncoming vehicles. Pass either side to get to the same destination. Approaching traffic passes you on both sides.
What does this sign mean? What does this sign mean? So whenever you see this sign, it means you can pass on either side to get to the same destination. No, that's a wrong answer. A lot of people make mistake in this. Approaching traffic passes you on both sides. That's a wrong answer. Basically, it's like, so for example, if you're driving from here, so you're driving, let me just show you this. So for example, you're driving here and you're driving from this side and you see this sign, it means you can either pass on this side and get to this destination, or you can pass on this side and get to the same destination. تاسو کولی شئ چې په دې دواړو لینونو کې چې هر یو لین والی تاسو به یو ځای ته رسیږئ. Pass either side to get to the same destination. Okay, so you can take any lane and you will end up in the same place. Long, did you get that? You see, that's a wrong answer. Okay, so that's number 3 is the right answer.
You're going to turn left from a main road into a minor road. What should you do as you approach the junction? Keep in the middle of the road. Keep well to the left of the road. Swing out to the right just before turning.
You're going to
Keep
turn
just left of the middle of the road.
You're going to turn left from a main road into a minor road. What should you do as you approach the junction? So if you're turning left, you should be in the left hand side to turn left. So the answer will be, what would be the answer? See, in here it says you're going to turn left from a main road into a minor road. So if you're turning left, you should stay in the left hand side. So the answer would be, yeah, exactly. Well done, Long. So keep well to the left of the road. Hello, Romana.
How will a school crossing patrol signal you to stop? By displaying a stop sign. By pointing to children waiting to cross. By giving you an arm signal. By displaying a red light.
How will a school crossing patrol signal you to stop? Yeah, this is an easy one. By displaying a stop sign. Not a C, look. Okay. They're talking about school warden, so that's the one. By displaying a stop sign, which is this one, that's the stop sign. By displaying a stop sign. Okay, how will a school crossing patrol signal you to stop? By displaying a stop sign.
When may you drive without wearing your seat belt? When you're carrying out a maneuver that includes reversing. When you're testing your brakes. When you're driving slowly in queuing traffic. When you're moving off on a hill.
When may you drive without wearing your seat belt? Wa alaikum assalam. When may you drive without wearing your seat belt? So there are two answers. One is when you're reversing, and the second one is due to health condition. So medical reason, and also when you're reversing.
You arrive at the scene of a motorcycle crash. No other vehicle is involved. The rider is unconscious and lying in the middle of the road. What's the first thing you should do at the scene? Warn other traffic. Move the rider out of the road. Clear the road of debris. Give the rider reassurance.
You arrive at the scene of a motorcycle crash. No other vehicle is involved. The rider is unconscious and lying in the middle of the road. See, the main point in this question is the rider is lying in the middle of the road. So if the person is lying in the middle of the road, what do? You stop the traffic. Okay? First, you have to stop the traffic. That's why warn other traffic. warn other traffic. That's why that's the right answer. First, because the person is lying in the middle of the road, so that's why you have to stop the traffic first. And how do you do that? By warning the traffic. Warn چې دی خبرداری ته وایي. نو traffic ته خبرداری ورکړي، مطلب دا چې ودروي نه. Warn other traffic.
What messages are given by circular traffic signs that have a blue background? They give directions to car parks. They give motorway information. They give mandatory instructions. They give temporary directions during a diversion.
What messages are given by circular traffic signs that have a blue background? Yeah. They give mandatory instructions. This is one of the most common question that comes in the test, guys. Just remember that. That's सवाल हमेशा पर test के राजी. They give mandatory instruction.
When are you allowed to wait on the yellow grid markings? Never. When you are turning left. When you are turning right. When you are going straight on.
When are you allowed to wait on the yellow grid marking? کله مونږ ته اجازه سته دی چې په دغه دینې دا زیړه کرښه چې ده په دغه باکس کې مونږ کولی سو چې ودرېږو. مونږ انتظار کولی سو. څه وخت مونږ کولی سو دلته انتظار وکړو. که دغې موټرو ته مونږ وګورو، ګوره داسې په منځ کې ولاړ دي، دا ګوره خپل ښي لاس ته تاویږي. ګورې که پاسه نه راځي هم خپل ښي لاس ته تاویږي، که د لاندې نه ځي هم خپل ښي لاس ته تاویږي. نو موږ په یوازې په هغه صورت کې موږ کولی سو دلته ودرېږو کله چې ښي لاس ته تاویږو. So when are you allowed to wait on the yellow grid marking? You can only wait in the yellow grid marking when you're turning right and oncoming traffic is stopping you from turning right. ګوره خاصې کله ښي لاس ته تاویږي او مخامخ نه موټران را رواني او ستا مخ یې بنده کړي چې تاو شي، نو په هغسې صورت کې مونږ کولی شو. Okay, so the answer will be when you are turning right.
What does this sign mean? No road markings. No entry. No through road. No parking.
What does this sign mean? That's an easy one. That's no entry.
You're on a motorway. What does it mean when a red cross is displayed above the hard shoulder? This lane can be used if you need a rest. You must not travel in this lane. Use this lane as a running lane. Pull up in this lane to answer your mobile phone.
You're on a motorway. What does it mean when a red cross is displayed above the hard shoulder? په motorway باندې سي د hard shoulder په سر باندې دغه نښه وي، نو د دې څه معنی ده؟ ګوره سي په هر لین په سر باندې دا نښه وي، د دې دا معنی ده چې دا لین موږ نورمل ډرایوینګ دپاره نشو یوز کولی. نو چې hard shoulder د پاسه وي نو hard shoulder هم نشو استعمالولی د نورمل ډرایوینګ دپاره، البته emergency په صورت کې مونږ کولی سو هلته ودرېږو. So whenever there is a red cross on top of any lane, you're not allowed to drive in that lane. So if you see a cross on top of any lane, you're not allowed to use that lane as a running lane. And when this is on top of the hard shoulder, it means you can only use the hard shoulder for emergency or breakdown. You cannot use hard shoulder as a running lane when we have this cross on top of it. Yeah, we can still use it in an emergency, exactly. So the answer would be you must not travel in this lane. You must not travel in this lane, okay? If in the answer section it says you can only use it in an emergency, that will also be the right answer, okay? Just to let you know. So you must not travel in this lane.
How much can stopping distances increase in icy conditions? 2 times. 3 times. 5 times. 10 times.
How much can stopping distance increase in icy conditions? That's 10 times.
You intend to turn left at the traffic lights. What should you do just before turning? Move up closer to the car ahead. Check for bicycles on your left. Check your right mirror. Move out to the right.
You intend to turn left at the traffic lights. What should you do just before turning? So if that's your car, you stop at the traffic light, you want to turn left. Before you turn left, what do you have to look for? If there is any cyclist on the left hand side before you turn. So make sure there is no one before you turn. So what do? Check for bicycle on your left. Check for bicycles on your left.
You're traveling along a motorway. When are you allowed to overtake on the left? When in queues and traffic to your right is moving more slowly than you are. When you can see well ahead that the hard shoulder is clear. When the traffic in the right-hand lane is signaling right. When you warn drivers behind by signaling left.
You're traveling along a motorway. When are you allowed to overtake on your left? Okay, so this is a bit confusing. Let me just explain this, okay guys? So when can you overtake on your left on a motorway? Kala kawale switch up a motorway ke mang pa left side bande overtake wuku. Okay, this is let me just explain it. Not this one. Okay, let me show you the answer first. You're traveling along a motorway. When are you allowed to overtake on the left? When in queues and traffic to your right is moving more slowly than you are. This is the answer. But let me just explain it why this is the right answer. Da jawab dekho. So tasu tab explain kam chi walida say jawab de. When in queues and traffic to your right is moving more slowly than you are. That's the answer. But let me just explain why that's the right answer so you know. Okay. So for example, this is your vehicle. You see, this van is your vehicle and you are in a queue of traffic, and this is your van. Okay. So if this lane start to move and this lane is not moving, only the lane you are start to move, will you wait in here or will you follow your lane? What will you do? So if this is your vehicle, all the traffic is stopped and your lane, the lane you are in, start to move. What will you do? Will you move or will you wait? What do you think, guys? What will we do? Obviously, we will move. Okay? We will move. And if we move, what does that mean? We overtook the traffic that's on the right. So what did you do? When in queues and traffic to your right is moving more slowly than you are. So if this lane is moving more slowly than your lane, then in that situation you are allowed to overtake. Okay? So that's what it means. When in queues and traffic to your right is moving more slowly than you are. کله چې په قطار کې ولاړ استئ او تاسو نه چې خیل استه کم ټرافیک دی هغه تاسو نه اورو روان وي، نو په هغه صورت کې کولی شئ په چپ لاس باندې تاسو ته مخکې شئ. ګوره ما تاسو ته مثال درکړ، دا ستاسو موټر وي او دا کم لین کې چې تاسو ولاړ یاست دغه اول روان شي او دغه لین چې دی خیل استه لین چې دی دا ولاړ وي، نو په هغه صورت کې تاسو کولی شئ په چپ طرف د خیلاس لین نه overtake وکړئ. English کې وایي چې when in queues and traffic to your right is moving more slowly than you are. Okay, that's the right answer. Any question, guys, about this one? So you're traveling along a motorway. When are you allowed to overtake on the left? When in queues and traffic to your right is moving more slowly than you are. Okay.
What should you do before driving into a tunnel? Switch on your windscreen wipers. Switch off your radio. Close your sunroof. Take off your sunglasses.
What should you do before driving into a tunnel? That's an easy one. What should we do? We should take off sunglasses, isn't it? So take off your sunglasses. Oh, tabrik. Take off your sunglasses.
How can driving in a fuel-efficient manner help protect the environment? By increasing the number of cars on the road. Through the legal enforcement of speed regulations. By reducing exhaust emissions. Through increased fuel bills.
How can driving in fuel efficient manner help protect the environment? Fuel efficient driving means in driving where you use less fuel. So how can driving in fuel efficient manner help protect the environment? By reducing exhaust emissions. Which basically means if you're not going far, you should walk or cycle.
You're about to start a journey in freezing weather. What part of your vehicle should you clear of ice and snow? The bumper. The boot. The aerial. The windows.
You're about to start a journey in freezing weather. What part of your vehicle should you clear of ice and snow? Yeah, the windows. The windows and lights.
What does this motorway sign mean? Leave the motorway at the next exit. Pull up on the hard shoulder. Change to the lane on your left. Change to the opposite carriageway.
What does this motorway sign mean? Okay, guys, if you don't understand any question or if you're confused in any sign, please do ask, okay? So this one means change to the lane on your left. Change to the lane on your left.
What should you do if you have to stop while you're going through a congested tunnel? Keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front. Make a U-turn and find another route. Pull up very close to the vehicle in front to save space. Ignore any message signs, as they are never up to date.
What should you do if you have to stop while you're going through a congested tunnel? Yeah, you should keep a safe distance from the vehicle that's in front of you. So keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front.
How should you use the lanes on a motorway? Stay in one lane until you reach your exit. Keep to the left-hand lane unless you're overtaking. Use the lane that has the least traffic. Overtake using the lane that's clearest.
How should you use the lanes on the motorway? How should you use the lanes on a motorway? We always should use the left-hand lane unless we're overtaking. If you're not overtaking, if the motorway is clear, you should always keep to the left. وقتی که همیشه در موتروی درایو میکنین باید همیشه طرف چپ باشین. فقط در اون صورت طرف راست لین راست گرفته میتونین وقتی که اوورتیک میکنین. اگر اوورتیک نمیکنین همیشه باید طرف چپ باشین. یوازې په هغه صورت کې من خیل از لین ته کولی سو واوړو کله چې موږ اوورټیک کوو. چې اوورټیک نه کوئ همیشه باید لیفت ساید ته اوسیږئ. So remember, whenever you're driving, you should always drive in the left-hand lane on a motorway unless you're overtaking. So keep to the left-hand lane unless you are overtaking.
A single carriageway road has this sign. What's the maximum permitted speed for a car towing a trailer? 30 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour. 40 miles per hour. 50 miles per hour.
Nah, gentlemen, you got it wrong. A single carriageway road has this sign. What's the maximum permitted speed for a car towing a trailer? Look, the speed limit on a single carriageway is 60. Okay, speed limit on a single carriageway is 60. But if you look at the question, it says, what's the maximum permitted speed for a car towing a trailer? So when you are towing a trailer, then the speed limit will be minus 10, okay? So 60 minus 10, that's 50. Single carriageway سرکی که در بینش کدام ممانعت نباشه بریر نباشه که در انگلیسی که برای چیز میگه central reservation سرکی که central reservation نداشته باشه او single carriageways. Okay guys, so the speed limit on a single carriageway is normally 60, but when you're towing a trailer or caravan, then it's 50 miles per hour.
How should you react to inexperienced drivers? Flash your headlights to indicate that it's safe for them to proceed. Be patient and prepare for them to react more slowly. Sound your horn to warn them of your presence. Overtake them as soon as possible.
How should you react to inexperienced drivers? Yeah, you have to be more patient with them. تجربه کار درایوران سره باید ډیر حوصله وکړو. Be patient and prepare for them to react more slowly.
What's the legal minimum tread depth for tires on your trailer or caravan? 2 millimeters. 1 millimeter. 1.6 millimeters. 2.6 millimeters.
What's minimum tread depth for tires on your trailer or caravan? So if they ask you about depth of tires for any car, whether that's caravan, was that trailer or normal car, any car, okay, just remember it will always be 1.6 millimeter. ګوره چې کله هم د ټایرونو جوړوالي باره کې تپوس وکړي همیشه جواب چې دی 1.6 میلیمتر. دپت چیز چقوری تایرها که است او باید چقدر باشه؟ او باید از 1.6 میلیمتر کم نباشه.
You're following a large vehicle as it approaches a crossroads. What should you do if the driver signals to turn left? Overtake if there are no oncoming vehicles. Wait for the vehicle to finish turning. Wait for the driver to cancel their signal. Overtake if you can leave plenty of room.
You're following a large vehicle as it approaches a crossroad. What should you do if the driver signals to turn left? You should allow them space. So you should allow them space. Wait for the vehicle to finish turning. Yep.
For how long is an MOT certificate normally valid? 30,000 miles. 1 year after the date it was issued. 10,000 miles. 3 years after the date it was issued.
For how long is an MOT certificate normally valid? MOT certificate is valid for 1 year, but when you buy a new car, you don't need to have an MOT for the first 3 years. کله چې نوې موټر والی نو هغې دپاره 3 کاله اولني 3 کاله چې دي ضروري نه ده چې تاسو ورته MOT وکړئ، خو د 3 کالو نه وروسته MOT به کوئ او MOT چې ده 1 کاله پورې کار کوي. So 1 year after the date it was issued.
What color are the reflective studs between the hard shoulder and the left-hand lane of a motorway? Green. White. Red. Amber.
What color are the reflective studs between the hard shoulder and the left-hand lane of a motorway? Okay. Green studs are at the entrance and exits of the motorway. White studs are in between the lanes of the motorway. Red studs are in the left-hand side where the hard shoulder is. Amber studs are at the right-hand side where central reservation is. So between the hard shoulder and the left-hand lane, that's red. Green at the entrances or exits are slip road. White in between the lanes. Red in the left-hand side. Amber on the right-hand side. Can you explain what, bro? Look, it's very easy. Look, let me just explain this, okay? Is there anyone that finds these hard? Is there anyone that find these studs hard to understand? Yeah, okay. Let me just explain this. So whenever, okay, just listen carefully, just 2 minutes, and you will never get this wrong. Whenever they ask you question about studs, there will always be the word motorway. You see, whenever they ask you question about studs, there will always be the word motorway in the question. Okay, and if you look at the motorway, you see that's the spelling of the motorway. Guys, just write down this spelling if you don't understand the studs. Just write down MOTORWAY. W-A-Y. Just write it down and I'll explain this to you guys, okay? Motorway. Just write down motorway and I'll explain this, okay? Motorway. Yep, okay. That's the spelling of motorway there. Okay. That's the spelling of motorway. 1 second, guys. Let me just take this out. Okay. So if you look in here, it's M-O-T-O-R-W-A-Y. It's very easy, okay? Just listen carefully. That's the motorway, and this, whenever they ask you a question about studs, there will always be the word motorway in the question, okay? So that's the spelling of motorway. And if you look in here, that's R, that's W, that's A. R, W, A. I brought these down. That's R, that's W, that's A. Just look at these three words, guys. R, W, A. And in these three letters, if you look in here, R is in the left hand side, W is in the middle, and A is at the right hand side. Look, see, R is in the left, like there, W is in the middle, and A is at the right side. Guys, did you get that? Guys, did you get that or not? Look, that's R, that's W, that's A. That's R, that's W, that's A. Yeah? If you look in here, R is in the left, W is in the middle, A is in the right hand side. And that's how the studs are on the motorway as well. Red studs are in the left hand side of the motorway, white studs are in the middle of the motorway, and umber studs are in the right hand side of the motorway. See? R, W, A. If you just remember these three words, R, W, A, which is in the motorway, M-O-T-O-R-W-A, R, W, A. Okay, so red studs will be in the left, red in the left, white in the middle, umber on the right hand side. And as we know, on the motorway, where is the hard shoulder on the motorway? Where is the hard shoulder on the motorway? Hard shoulder is in the left hand side. We do know that, isn't it? So you see, that's red studs. Exactly, on the left. So red studs are next to the hard shoulder. And in the right hand side of the motorway, what do we have here? In the right hand side of the motorway, there is central reservation in the right hand side. On the right hand side, there is central reservation. So umber studs will be next to the central reservation, okay? It's very easy. So if you just remember RWA, ګوره دا stud چې دی ډیر په اسانۍ تاسو کولی شئ معلوم کړئ. که کله هم د studs باره کې سوال راشي، همیشه د stud سوال چې کله هم راځي هغه د موټروی د لفظ نه بغیر نشي راتلی. او که موږ د موټروی دغه وګورو، دا د موټروی سپیلینګ دی. ګوره MOTORWAY. نو ګوره دغلته R دی، دا W دی، دا I دی. د خالي دغه درې لفظونه چې دي دا د موټروی کې دننه دا موږ راواخیستل، دغلته لاندې مو لیکل. ګوره R دی، W دی، بل A دی. RWA. R د red د پاره، W د white د پاره، A امبر د پاره. او په همدې طریقه باندې په موټروی کې همدا سټډ چې کوم نښې دي دا په همدې ترتیب باندې دي. سرې چپ طرف ته دي، سپینې موټروی په منځ کې دي، او امبر چې دي ښي لاس ته دي. موږ په دې پوهیږو چې موټروی کې چپ طرف ته هارد شولډر وي، نو هارد شولډر ته نږدې ریډ وي. ښي لاس ته چې دی دغلته سنټرل ریزرویشن وي. نو امبر چې دی سنټرل ریزرویشن ته نږدې، او وایټ چې دی د لینونو په منځ کې. ګوره که تاسو کله هم په سړک باندې سفر کوئ، نو سړک په منځ کې چې کوم دا نښې وي دا همیشه سپینې وي. نو په موټروی کې هم د سړک په منځ کې د موټروی منځ کې هم نښې سپینې وي. چپ طرف ته خیال هم کړئ باونډري راځي که نه، نو چپ طرف ته سره د دې د وجې، ښي لاس ته امبر او یوازې شنه چې دی کله چې موږ د موټروی نه وځو او یا موټروی ته ننوځو په هغه ځای کې شنه وي کوم ته چې slip road وي. You see, green studs will be when we leaving the motorway or when we entering the motorway. So exits and entry points of the motorway, there will be green studs. And how do we enter the motorway? Through slip road. We enter the motorway through slip road, okay? Is that clear, guys? Any question? So where was this? What are the reflective studs between the hard shoulder and the left-hand lane of a motorway? So as we said in the RWA rule, R in the left, W in the middle, A is in the right-hand side, okay? So red studs. Guys, any question about this one? Yeah, why not? Well, any question about this? No. Show one stud. So I don't have a picture, but it's like I don't have a picture for studs, but it's like wait, let me just show you. You know, when you're driving at night, that's how it looks. I don't think I have the real pictures of it. It's like these. It's on the right. سوالی بود که نفهمید چطور explain کنم. در پشتو میفهم. Or the motorway one. This one. That's the RWA rule. دا په موټروی باندې دا نښې وي ښي لاس ته زیړې وي په منځ کې سپینې وي چپ طرف ته سرې وي تر څو موږ ته پته وي کله چې تاسو په موټروی باندې ډرایوینګ کوئ او تاسو نه مثال هیر شي چې تاسو د موټروی په کم ځای کې یاستئ منځ کې یاستئ ښي لاس لین کې یاستئ یا چپ او یا چې تاسو د شپې ډرایوینګ کوئ نو تاسو ته د هغې نه پته لګیږي چې تاسو په کم ځای کې روان یاستئ. See, why do we have studs on the motorway? We have studs on the motorway so we know where we are on the motorway. So if the red studs are on your left, it means that you are in the left-hand lane. If you got white studs on both sides, it means you are in the middle of the motorway. If you got amber studs on your right, it means you are in the right-hand lane. So the studs are there to help you on the motorway, to help you know where exactly you are on the motorway. So that's why we have studs on the motorway.
What does the white line along the side of the road indicate? The edge of the carriageway. The approach to a hazard. No parking. No overtaking.
What does the white line along the side of the road indicate? Side. Remember, guys, it's saying side, okay? So when they're saying side, they're talking about this line, okay? Side. This is the middle. This is hazard line, okay? This is the middle, that's a hazard line. But they're talking about the side of the road. This is edge of the carriageway. Edge of the carriageway. سوال است که the side of the road خطی که در بغل در طرف سرک است این چی معنا داره؟ یکی است ای آخرین جای سرک است کریجوی سرک هم میگه ای آخرین جای سرک است ای باندری برایتان نشان میده که اینجا سرک خلاص شده.
What do the yellow lines along the edge of the road mean? Pedestrians shouldn't cross where there are yellow lines. They mark the edge of the road. They are rumble strips. No waiting.
Alright, Simo, if you need, guys, if you don't understand any question, please write down the question number and you can also at the end, okay? What do the yellow lines along the edge of the road mean? Yellow lines. So if it's double yellow lines, no waiting or no parking at any time, okay? No waiting or no parking at any time.
You're invited to a pub lunch. What should you do if you know that you'll have to drive in the evening? Don't drink any alcohol at all. Have some milk before drinking alcohol. Eat a hot meal with your alcoholic drinks. Avoid mixing your alcoholic drinks.
You're invited to a pub lunch. What should you do if you know that you will have to drive in the evening? Yeah, don't drink any alcohol at all. Very easy.
You're traveling on a road that has road humps. What should you do when the driver in front is traveling more slowly than you? Overtake as soon as you can. Slow down and stay behind. Sound your horn. Flash your headlights.
You're traveling on a road that has road humps. What should you do when the driver in front is traveling more slowly than you are? تصرکی که جمع باشه پیشرویتان درایور بسیار آهسته میره باید چی کنین در اون صورت؟ Yeah, so whenever there are road humps on the road, what should you do? You should drive very slowly and do not try to overtake on that road, okay? So it means whenever there are road humps on the road, we are not allowed to overtake. So what should we do? Slow down and stay behind, okay? So basically, if a question comes, are you allowed to overtake when there are road humps on the road? The answer will be no. گوره چه کلا هم پا سرک باندی جمپونوین و التا منگتده اوورتیک اجازت نسته سرکی که جمپ داشته باشه در اون سرک ما اجازه اوورتیک نداریم basically معلومات هست.
What should you do if a doctor prescribes drugs that are likely to affect your driving? Only drive if someone is with you. Never drive at more than 30 miles per hour. Get someone else to drive. Avoid driving on motorways.
What should you do if a doctor prescribes drugs that are likely to affect your driving? Do not drive. Do not drive. So what will be the answer? Get someone else to drive. Do not drive, yeah. So get someone else to drive.
The conditions are good and dry. When should you use the 2-second rule? When checking your gap from the vehicle in front. Before restarting the engine after it has stalled. Before using the mirrors, signal, maneuver routine. When traffic lights change to green.
The conditions are good and dry. When should you use the 2-second rule? Oh, thank you, Maurice. 2-second rule. Yeah, when checking your gap from the vehicle in front. So 2 seconds when it's dry, 4 seconds when it's wet, and 20 seconds when the road is icy. When the road is icy. وقتی که سرک خوش باشه باید 2 ثانیه فاصله داشته باشین. وقتی که سرک تر باشه یا باران شده باشه 4 ثانیه و وقتی که برف باشه باید 20 ثانیه. Simo, it's 20 seconds when the road is icy, okay? It's 20 seconds. 2 seconds when it's dry, 4 seconds when it's raining or when the road is wet, 20 seconds when it's icy. No, not 10 seconds. You see, it says 10 times of the normal. Okay, you see that tens, you see where where it says 10, the complete answer is 10 times of the normal distance. And what's the normal? Is 2 seconds, okay? So 10 multiplied by 2, that's 20 seconds. It's not 10 seconds, it's 20 seconds. Remember that, guys. کلچی سرک باندی واوروین و باید 60 سکند فاصله مخکی موتر سر وسط. وقتی که سرک برف باشه باید 20 ثانیه فاصله داشته باشین که موتر که پیش رویتون باشه.
In winter, road signs can become covered by snow. What does this sign mean? Crossroads. Stop. Turn right. Give way.
In winter, road signs can become covered by snow. What does this sign mean? Oh, this is an easy one. That's stop sign. See, stop sign is the only sign that's, is it called hexagon or octagon? That's the only sign that got this shape. یا فقط همی ساین stop که هست همی شکل داره دیگه ساینایی تو شکل نداره.
You're traveling in very heavy rain. How is this likely to affect your overall stopping distance? It will be doubled. It will be no different. It will be 10 times greater. It will be hard.
You're traveling in heavy rain. How is this likely to affect your overall stopping distance? Yep, it will be doubled. Guys, did you see the question earlier? So when it's dry, it's 2 seconds. When it's raining or when it's wet, it's 4 seconds. So it was doubled. So it's the same thing. You're traveling in heavy rain. How is this likely to affect your stopping distance? Same. So you keep double gap. So it's 2 seconds when it's dry, 4 seconds when it's when the road is wet. So same in here. So if you're stopping distance, if the road is dry and your stopping distance is 5 meters, in the rain your stopping distance will be 10 meters. So it will be doubled. مانع double دوچند میشه. سوالی است که وقتی که سرک باران شده باشه استارت شدن باران در سر استارت شدن موتور چی فرق میندازه؟ استارت شدنش چیز میشه دوچند میشه. فاصله استارت شدنش دوچند میشه. وقتی که سرک خوش باشه اگر فاصله استارت شدنتان 5 متر باشه امو جای وقتی که سرک تر باشه موتورتان 2 متر استارت میشه. دوچند میشه فاصله استارت شدن موتورتان. Okay, so it will be doubled. For me, Amira.
What does this traffic sign mean? Compulsory minimum speed limit. Compulsory maximum speed limit. Advisory maximum speed limit. Advised separation distance.
What does this traffic sign mean? Okay. Any question about this one? The answer is compulsory maximum speed limit. Compulsory, something that you must follow. Compulsory lazmi. Maximum speed limit. Look, advisory, why this is not the right answer? You see why this is not the right answer? Because advice means it's your choice whether you want to do something or you don't do something. So that's out of advice. So advisory means it's your choice whether you do it or you don't do it. But this is not advisory. Why is not advisory? It's must. Okay, which is compulsory. Compulsory means something you must do. That's why this is the right answer. Okay, so we must follow. We must not exceed more than 50. سوالی است که این چی معنا داره؟ جوابش هست این maximum speed limit هست. Maximum speed limit. No, it's, look, if it's, just remember guys, if it's a blue sign, which is this one, let me just show you. Where is a blue sign? Okay, so if it's a blue sign means minimum. If it's blue, it's minimum. If it's not blue, they're all maximum. Any shape, any color, any background does not matter. Okay, any color, any shape, they're all maximum. If it's not blue, it's maximum. Okay, وقتی که آبی ساین نباشه، اگر آبی باشه مثل ایواری چیز است، وقتی که آبی باشه minimum، آبی که نباشه they're all maximum. Guys, did you get that? So if it's a blue sign, it's minimum. If it's not blue, it's maximum. Doesn't matter which color or which shape it is. Okay, so that's compulsory maximum speed limit. And you see the difference between these two was One says advisory and one says compulsory. You see, advisory is out of advice, which means it's your choice whether you want to do it or you don't want to do it. But obviously we have to follow this rule. We have to. That's a maximum. You see, that's an order sign, so it's compulsory. Compulsory maximum.
Where should you take particular care to look for motorcyclists and cyclists? On dual carriageways. At zebra crossings. On one-way streets. At junctions.
Where should you take particular care to look for motorcyclists and cyclists? Yeah, at junctions. At junctions and also at bends. Bends and junctions. Guys, if you have any question, you can ask at the end, okay? And if any one of you did not follow me, please do follow, guys. If any one of you did not follow me yet, please do follow. And if you could please share the live with your friends, I would really appreciate that. Thank you.
What hazard should you be especially aware of if you're turning left into a side road? Pedestrians. One-way street. Traffic congestion. Parked vehicles.
What hazard should you be especially aware of if you're turning left into a side road? Yeah, that's an easy one. So pedestrians.
What should you do if your mobile phone rings while you're driving or riding? Pull up at the nearest curb. Leave it until you have stopped in a safe place. Answer it immediately. Stop immediately.
What should you do if your mobile phone rings while you're driving or riding? Yeah, so this is an easy one. You can't talk on your phone while you're driving, so what do you have to do? You have to stop in a safe place. So the answer will be leave it until you have stopped in a safe place.
What should you do when you're unsure whether it's safe to reverse your vehicle? Sound your horn. Rev your engine. Reverse slowly. Get out and check.
What should you do when you are unsure whether it's safe to reverse your vehicle? See, this question got two answers. One is ask someone to guide you, and the other answer is get out and check. Ask someone to guide you or get out and check. کله چې تاسو غواړئ ریورس لاړ شئ خو مطمئن نه یاستئ چې شاته مو د موټر شا خوندي ده یا نه ده، نو تاسو باید په هغه صورت کې څه شی وکړئ؟ موټر نه خپله راوځئ او ویې ګورئ. So get out and check. And the other answer for the same question is ask someone to guide you.
Where should you stop to rest if you feel tired while you're traveling along a motorway? At the nearest service area. On the central reservation. On the hard shoulder. On a slip road.
Where should you stop to rest if you feel tired while you're traveling along a motorway? There are service stations, not on the hard shoulder. You cannot, the hard shoulder is only for emergency, okay? This is for emergency or breakdown. Service station, you know, on the motorway there are service stations like every 10 miles, 20 miles, sometimes 30 miles. There are a service station, so you can stop there and rest. So at the nearest service area.
Which is the sign for a ring road?
Which is the sign for a ring road? This is it. No, this is mini roundabout. This is no stopping, that's roundabout. And this is ring road. And what does ring road means? You know, in England, every city got a ring road around it. In England, every city got a road around the city which is called ring road, which is also called circular road as well. Ring road or circular road. So ring road.
As you approach the roundabout, you want to change lanes. What routine should you follow? Signal, mirrors, maneuver. Maneuver, mirrors, signal. Maneuver, signal, mirrors. Mirrors, signal, maneuver.
Okay. What should you do when you're changing lane? When you're changing lane, first, what do you have to do? First, you have to check your mirrors, okay? Always, when you're changing your direction, so if you're changing lane, if you're going from one lane to another lane, what should you do first? You should check your mirror. Second, then you signal. And third, you move. So mirror, signal, maneuver, MSM. Mirror, signal, maneuver, MSM. Mirror, signal, maneuver, MSM. Okay. So remember, guys, whenever you're slowing down, stopping, or changing direction of your vehicle, first thing you should do, you should check your mirror. And why would you check your mirror? To assess how your actions will affect the traffic that's behind you. So mirror, signal, maneuver, MSM.
What style of driving causes increased risk to everyone? Competitive, defensive, responsible, considerate.
Maneuver means moving the vehicle or movement of the vehicle. What style of driving causes increased risk to everyone? That's competitive, and competitive is out of competition. See, competitive driving, competition. The چیز gas کدام driving مردم در خطر میندازه، کلی را در خطر میندازه. دراوینگی که چی مسابقه که میکنین، competition مقابله رو میگنی، مسابقه وقتی که مسابقه چیز میکنین، ریسینگ میکنین. Competitive, which is out of competition.
You're following a long vehicle as it approaches a crossroads. What should you do if it signals left but moves out to the right? Stay well back and give it room. Assume the signal is wrong and that it's turning right. Get closer in order to pass it quickly. Overtake it as it starts to slow down.
Salam akhi, كيف حالك? You are following a long vehicle as it approaches a crossroads. What should you do if it signals left but moves out to the right? What do you have to do? Allow them space. Give them more room so they could turn. So what do we have to do? Stay well back and give it room. Stay well back and give it room.
You're going to tow a trailer that's wider than your car. What must you fit to your car before you start towing it? Projection markers, parking sensors, exterior towing mirrors, rear view camera.
Mavis, I will definitely try to come. I used to come every day, but you're going to tow a trailer that's wider than your car. What must you fit to your car before you start towing it? The answer is exterior towing mirror. وقتی که پشت موترتان تریلا میزنین، okay, you're going to tow a trailer that's wider than your car. What must you fit to your car before you start towing it? اگر پشت موترتان تریلا میزنین، تریلا کتشان یک جای چیز میکنین، نفهمیم چه میگن، تا پشت ما میگین توینگ، به انگلیسی توینگ میگن. پشتشان تریلا میزنین. اگر تریلا کلان باشه یا کاروان کلان باشه، در اون صورت باید ما این شیشه را بزنیم. باید باش ما بریتان نشان بدیم. اینه یکی از ایره exterior towing mirror میگه، خب، یا extended arm side mirror. So if you got a trailer or caravan that's bigger than your car, what should you have? You should have exterior towing mirror, which is this one. Okay, so you can see the back of the trailer or the back of the caravan. You're going to tow a trailer that's wider than your car. What must you fit to your car before start towing it? Exterior towing mirror. And the reason was so you can see.
Which plate may appear with this road sign?
Which plate may appear with this road sign? That's a road hump. Road hump. So the answer is, see, hubs. That's a hump and that's a hump there as well. Okay, and what does this sign mean? It means this road. So if you see this sign and then under this sign you see this, it would mean when you enter that road there will be humps for half a mile. Okay, that's what it means. د دې ساين سمانه ده که دغه ساين سره لاندې دا ساين وي د دې دا معنی ده چې دغه سرک ته چې کله موږ نوځو نو د نیم مایل د پاره با جمپونه وي وقتی که امی ساين میبینیم معنیش است که وقتی که داخلی سرک شدی برای نصف مایل جمع داره امی سرک.
What does this sign mean? A route for pedestrians and cyclists. A route for cyclists only. No route for pedestrians and cyclists. A route for pedestrians only.
What does this sign mean? That's, you see, whenever there is anything inside this blue sign, it means it's a route for them. Whenever you see anything inside this blue sign, it means it's a route for them. Minimum kam as kam. Okay, so the answer will be, it's a route for cyclist and pedestrian. You see, that's a cycle, so it's a route for cyclist and also for pedestrian as well. So a route for pedestrian and cyclist.
What's a cover note? A document issued before you receive your MOT certificate. A document issued before you receive your insurance certificate. A document issued before you receive your driving license. A document issued before you receive your registration document.
What's a cover note? A cover note is basically a proof of insurance. Cover note is proof of insurance, okay? Not your driving license. Cover note is proof of insurance. Okay? Cover note is in proof of insurance. And what does it mean? You see, so when you apply for insurance, so when you call an insurance company, and even when they give you insurance, the insurance certificate takes some time. And before that send you your insurance certificate, they will send you an email or a letter to prove that you got insurance. That proof, the email that proves your insurance, or the letter that prove your insurance, that's called cover note. Okay, cover note is basically insurance. Okay, so what's a cover note? Insurance. And let's see, a document issued before you receive your insurance certificate. That's the answer. Cover note said that way. Cover note today, the insurance دغه ته وي پروف ته وي کله چې تاسو انشورنس کوئ د انشورنس کمپنی کله دینه مخکې چې هغې تاسو ته انشورنس سرټیفیکټ درولېږي په انشورنس سرټیفیکټ کې لږ وخت لګېږي هغې نه مخکې چې تاسو ته کوم ایمیل کوي او یا تاسو ته کوم لیټر درلېږي کوم چې د انشورنس پروف وي هغې ته کور نوټ وایي.
You're driving in busy traffic. You want to pull up just after a junction on the left. When should you signal? It would be better not to signal at all. Well before you reach the junction. As you're passing or just after the junction. Just before you reach the junction.
You're driving in busy traffic. You want to pull up just after a junction on the left. When should you signal? Guys, this is one of the most common questions that comes in the test. The answer is as you're passing or just after the junction. This is the right answer. But okay, Mushtaba, that's not D. You see, the question was, guys, remember, let me just show you. This is one of the most common question. So the question was, where is it gone? Okay, so there is a junction on the left and you want to stop here. When should you signal? سوالی بود اگر ببینید این موتر سبز از شما باشه اینجا جنکشن است و و شما میخواین ایجا استارت شوین، ایجا استاپ کنین، در کدام جای باید ایندیکیتر بزنین. So if that green one is your vehicle and you want to stop in here, when should you signal? If you signal before you reach the junction, it means you're turning left. So when should you signal? You should signal as you are passing the junction or after the junction. So as you're passing or just after the junction. Thank you, Khan. Okay. فهمیدین؟ وقتی که اینجا استاد میشین در کدام جای باید ایندیکیتر بزنین؟ وقتی که از همین جنکشن تیر میشین و یا پس از جنکشن چارایی را میگه. جایی که دو یا از دو زیاد سرک ها یک جای شده باشه او را جنکشن میگه. Okay, so let's hear the question again. You're driving in busy traffic. You want to pull up just after a junction on the left. When should you signal? As you're passing or just after the junction? Guys, is that clear now? Is you're passing or just after the junction? Yeah.
What does this sign mean? Motorcycles only. No cars. Cars only.
What
No
does this sign
motorcycles.
mean? Just remember, guys, whenever there is a red O, it will always be, the answer will always start from no. Okay, if it's a red O, it means no. Okay, red O means no, so no motorcycle. Red O means no motorcycle.
What should you do if it's raining and you're following this lorry on a motorway? Switch your headlights onto main beam. Be aware of spray reducing your vision. Allow a 2-second separation gap. Move into a lane that has less spray.
What should you do if it's raining and you're following this lorry on a motorway? Okay. You see, it says 2-second separation gap. It's wrong because the road is wet. The right answer would have been 4 seconds. So allow a 4-second separation gap. Nikki, if it was 4 seconds, then this would have been the right answer, okay? But it says 2 seconds, that's why it's a wrong answer. So what should we do? We should be aware of spray reducing our vision. Beware of spray reducing your vision, okay? B is the correct answer, exactly. Guys, if any one of you did not subscribe to my YouTube channel, that's the YouTube channel, please do subscribe. So if you missed the lesson, I'm uploading all these videos there so you can watch it. اگر کسی می یوتیوب چنل سابسکرایب کرده نباشه، امی یوتیوب چنل ماست. وقتی که اگر زمینجا کدام لیسن میس کردین اوجا میتونین اوجا ببینین. اوکی، دقیقا یوتیوب چنل پلیز سابسکرایب بکنید که کلا تاسو لیسن پاتشین و کولی سیالته وګورئ. Okay guys, thank you. Beware of spray reducing your vision.
How do motorways reduce traffic bunching? By using advisory speed limits. By using minimum speed limits. By using variable speed limits. By using higher speed limits.
How do motorway reduce traffic bunching? No. Bunching means, you see, bunching, have you heard of bunch of flowers? Bunch of flowers mean too many flowers together. Traffic bunching means too much traffic together. Bunching چیزا میگنی گلدسته را bunch of flowers میگه. موترها که زیاد یک جای شو اما را traffic bunching میگه. So the answer would be by using variable speed limits. سوال داده چه کله پا موتروی باندی رش جور شی یا traffic jam شي نو هغه بیا څنګه واپس کولاوي هغه په دغه باندې by using variable speed limits. ګوره په موټروي کې چې کله هم variable speed limit څه ته وایي ګوره variable speed limits variable دغه ته وایي یو شی چې بدلیږي را بدلیږي هغې ته variable وایي نو بدلیدونکي سپیډ لیمیټو باندې د دې څه معنا ده ګوره چې کله هم په موټروی باندې رش ډیر وي سپیډ لیمیټ کم وي همیشه راکموي ګوره کم چې guys I'll explain that in English just give me a few seconds so whenever there is more traffic on the motorway there will be reduced speed limit if you look in here the speed limit is 40 and if you look at the traffic we have more traffic and if you look in here the traffic is less is not that much busy see is not that much traffic and see when there is more traffic less speed limit less traffic more speed limit ګوره کله هم چې په موټروی باندې ترافیک زیات وي سپیډ لیمیټ به کم وي ګوره سپیډ لیمیټ یې کم کړی څومره چې ترافیک زیاتیږي هغومره د سپیډ لیمیټ دی راکموي تر څو موټران روان اوسیږي see so whenever there is more traffic on the motorway there will be reduced speed limit when there is less traffic on the motorway there will be more speed limit okay and this speed limit is called variable speed limits okay because it varies it changes that's why it's called variable speed limits is that clear guys so by using variable speed limits how do motorways reduce traffic bunching traffic bunching means when there is too much traffic together that's bunching traffic bunching so by using variable speed limits